Napoleon is responding to concerns that a 7 Action News investigation first revealed his department is wasting precious dollars it simply cannot afford.
It involves a county policy that gives dozens of officials free vehicles and gas cards they often use for personal expenses like driving home. Well, Ross just got back from a one-on-one with Napoleon, so we want to know what's he saying.
Well, Stephen, Carolyn, there was no apology from Wayne County's top cop, but in the wake of our investigation and a county audit, he says change may be coming.
There are issues here, and you've given me something to think about.
More than something to think about, commissioners and county auditors are hoping Sheriff Benny Napoleon takes action by trimming down who in his department gets free vehicles to take home and gas cards to fill them up with. An audit released today questioned why a slew of officials with administrative duties are racking up hundreds of dollars in gas bills each month, often just to pay for driving to and from home. Napoleon said today that those expenses are warranted so his staff can be prepared to respond to an emergency.
I know there are people who don't understand it, but I do. This is what I've done for 40 years, and we're going to be prepared to respond.
For the first time, he responded to findings in our investigation about some of his own employees' vehicle use. In August of last year, county lawyer James Spivey racked up nearly 4,000 miles worth of gas and billed it to you. Have you asked James Spivey what he was doing in August that racked up 4,000 miles?
I've had that conversation with him.
And what was he doing?
I've had that conversation with him, and he's going to explain that to me further.
Are you concerned about that?
I'm absolutely concerned about it.
Still, Napoleon defended paying for officials' gas, even if they're mostly using it to commute home. So if 364 days out of the year, we're just paying for James Spivey to go to and from home, that's a justifiable expense to you?
We're not just paying for him to go to and from home. We're paying for him to be prepared to respond to an emergency if it occurs. Again, it may never happen.
Napoleon says he doesn't owe anyone an apology, but he may owe you a check. When I asked him if he used his county vehicle and gas during his campaign for mayor, he said that he did. But state law says using public resources like a vehicle for political purposes is outlawed. And is that proper to be using a county vehicle?
Absolutely. I'm still the sheriff. I still have responsibilities to respond.
But you were campaigning.
Yes. The president campaigned and he used the plane.
I understand.
Because he's still the president.
And were you ever using county gas?
Of course. I'm still the sheriff. I still did my job as the sheriff, Ross.
At 5 o'clock, we showed you how some sheriff's officials were unclear as to just how many take-home vehicles are out there right now. One said 84. The other said 58. Well, turns out they were both wrong. The actual number is 69. So glad we could straighten that out.
Well, it sounds like he might try and tighten the belt a little bit. He's at least asking some people what they're using that excessive gas for.
Sounds like a definite maybe.
A definite maybe.
We'll see. I'm not really sure. He said that, yeah, there's some clear issues here. We've taught him a few things, but whether or not something will come of it, we'll see.
And I'm sure you're going to check up in the future.
That's a good guess.
That's a good guess.